infield taken care of at that point. I've talked about this in prior shows. You want to focus early on in the draft in the uh, top 24 middle infielders, the top 12 corner infielders, and the top 24 outfielders. Because that's where the talent is. So I was trying to get as many of those guys as I could. These two guys definitely fell in that category. The thing I like about both of these guys are they're both 5-star tools, light in Deaver's case maybe. But again, I knew at pick 13, I wasn't going to get Rafa Devers when it comes back around to pick 36. So I felt like that's the guy I wanted, and I took that plunge. I love that team up, though, of those two young players. Again, coming back around, I got... I can't remember if I got... So, Paddock and Greinke were another two that I coupled up. I love that new and old ace feature. And then I paired, I can't remember which order I did. I guess and I did 3-4 was Marte Meadows, actually. And then 5-6 was Paddock Greinke. Maybe it was the other way around. It's not important. What I'm saying is the approach was just pairing those guys up. So if you think about Marte and Meadows, for example, I've got now 4 players that are going to contribute in all 5 of the core categories. That's a real good way to start off your draft, especially knowing you really don't have to worry about the Schultz category. You're going to get that later, right? So those are the 3 guys I kind of paired up. And again, my thought process, I went into this cognitively, Andrea. I'm gonna spill the beans now. I got at the end of the draft, and I did so because all 3 of these guys, I did this because of flexibility. A little later on, I got Miguel Sano. I plan on using him at first base. But the guy I really want to talk about, the team I really want to talk about, is Michael Chavis, Andrea. And I paired him up with Renato Nunez. And I did so at the end of the draft. I think it's important because you can really kind of play matchups with those guys. And yes, I know Chavez is a little bit of a risk. I like what I saw out of him for the most part last year. I feel like the wear and tear of the long season kind of... Exactly. And that's what I'm talking about. I was getting to that point. You got there a little quicker than I did. Chavez is first and second. Nunez is first and outfielder. And Sano is first and third. Will be first and third. That's fine. I can plug and play him. I think 17's low, Andrea. I think he's 20 to 25. But really, you can play the matchups until Sano gets that first base eligibility, right? So, I do want to talk about what I feel is the strength of the team. First off, I do want to take a quick second, pay tribute to the drink of choice tonight. Tonight I'm drinking my favorite whiskey. One thing I'm very thankful for, Buffalo Trace. It's gotten a lot harder to find. But I dumb lucked across a bottle of it a couple weeks ago, and I felt like I needed some Buffalo Trace tonight. So if you get a chance to get some Buffalo Trace whiskey, I suggest it. The strength of my team, guys, without question, is pitching. And I'm going to list this staff to you because I punted Say, and I'm going to tell you guys, you're probably going to think that I didn't get backup relief pitchers because, again, it's such a volatile position. You can literally pick those guys up on the wire anytime you want. So there were 3 relief pitchers. I picked 3 relief pitchers. That's it. But listen to this pitching staff. Let me know what you think. I mentioned already Paddock and Greinke. Add to that Eduardo Rodriguez, Lucas Giolito, Mike Soroka, Dylan Cease, Mike Fultonavich. How'd I do? No, I didn't get Ohtani. Someone got him from me. I was going to take him. He got sniped from me. But if you look at the depth that I was able to build in that pitching staff, I'm really happy with that. So again, Paddock, Giolito, Greinke, Eduardo, Soroka, Cease, and Fulte. Now, one might think that's a pretty good staff. At least I thought it. I could be totally off base here. But I didn't tell you the best part. Back end. I got these guys as pitchers, relief pitchers, right? I love this one, drawing a Randy Johnson comp. AJ Puck. AJ Puck, to me, is one of the most under-talked about players in the... I know he has this injury thing. I know they're talking about bullpen or starting rotation. Bullshit. This guy, when he is ready, is the number 2 pitcher behind Luzardo on that staff. I get to sit there and throw him in and out when I want. I love having AJ Puck as a wild card in my back pocket on my staff. How about Jose Urquidy? Again, wild card. I don't have to play him. I got firepower at the pitching staff position. Now, what enabled me to do this was knowing and having a plan going in that I wasn't going to spend a whole lot of capital on my closers. But I'll tell you what, guys, I feel like I got 3 goddamn good closers. Not closers, leverage guys. Guys that are going to rack up saves and or holds. The first guy I want to talk about, Nick Anderson. I love this pick because, and Arnie was saying this yesterday, it doesn't give a damn if he's pitching in the 7th, 8th, or 9th. When they have the lead, he's pitching. So saves, holds, doesn't matter. And the thing I look at when I do this, when I make this approach, is the Ks and the walks. Right? Because that's what's important when you do this from this approach. Because you want guys that are going to even out your ratios on the back end. That's the most important thing. That's the thing people forget about. So, with that in mind, Ks and walks. 14 walks to 110 Ks last year for Nick Anderson is really goddamn good. Elite, if you will. 2.11 ERA. So you're adding that guy and he's supporting your starters. And again, if he gets a save or a hold, who gives a shit? He's going to get one of them. The second guy on this list, my only closer, Ken Giles. I love Giles just because of his value. I think that he's totally being undrafted, and I don't know where I got him. I know I got him later. But Giles is one of those guys that you know he's going to pitch at the back end of the rotation. He's going to get his saves. His ERA was spectacular last year, 1.87. And again, just 16 walks to 83 Ks. And the third guy I got, who you guys might not approve of. And that's okay, right? That's the fun part about this. Matt Barnes. Guys, look, and this is projecting. I try not to do that, but this is projecting just a little bit. This is the guy Boston wanted to be the closer last year. Maybe he's not the closer, but he's still a pretty darn good pitcher. Maybe he is the closer. That's the part that I kind of, I don't know if Workman continues. I mean, he walked a lot of batters last year. And now, I know what you're going to say. Chappy, he doesn't fit the profile. He walked 36 batters last year, right? But again, when you're looking at relief pitchers, 110 Ks, and you know he's going to be pitching in leverage situations. I love that trio. But the best part of it is it allowed me to draft super deep at every other position. I have a backup plan because I like to draft flexibility. You'll notice that a lot of these guys I drafted are multi-position eligible. That allows you to have some swings and misses, pun intended. Okay? I'll tell you, just because I'm going through some of the guys that I really like that I got to draft that honestly I've had four or five, I've had 3 money drafts and 2 or 3 free drafts. But I kind of use this as the opportunity to get guys that I don't have in other places. So some of the guys that I love, and again, this is it's a points league, but I don't have any Wilson Contreras. I am super excited about that. Catching to me, so far this year, my thought process has been, it is such a deep position, you just don't have to spend high draft capital on it. But damn it, in this one, I wanted Contreras. And I got him. So he's my only catcher. And I'm fine with that. Again, catching is so deep. There's literally guys out there that you can pick up all the time at the catching position. So why carry more than one? Is my thing. I love Kevin Newman. I got him again, second shortstop eligible. He's going to carry a high average. He is going to. He has 2020 potential. Again, in a silo. I say that all the time. I know, but this is not a normal year. Victor Robles, I got I got a lot of upside with these guys, right? Robles, I got, again, I love the stolen base potential. But the 2 utilities that I have are Ryan McMahon and David Dahl, who I got both of those guys criminally late. Now, I know what you're going to say. Dahl can't stay healthy. McMahon can't show us who he really is. Guys, that's the great thing about this. Sooner or later, it's going to happen. And if it doesn't happen, I literally spent, I think it was 15 plus. Let's put it that way. So what am I losing, right? But what I made sure to do, and I alluded to it a bit earlier, I tried to back them up with versatile players. What the hell do I mean? Like I said, I got Nunez on the bench.